I added you first, and the timing of that almost sounded like you honked, but it was the dog.
It was the dog, yeah.
Yeah. Good. How are you?
Yes, I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Bit tired. But I'm all right. I'm all right. Bit of a long week. Good to be back. We did a 3-hour stream on Bridge Too Far last night.
Oh yeah, how did it go?
That was really, really good. And then, like, it got all I showed during the stream. I actually have the script, so I had the script rolling up, and it got flagged for copyright, right? And I was like, no, there's something wrong here. This is not right. And I've realised when I looked at the company responsible, which is based in Poland, that this is a company that's doing that as a scam. Hoping that most people won't dispute it, and then they'll piggyback your YouTube earnings off of the view, because they're claiming copyright, and they're expecting most people not. So I looked it up, and a whole load of people have done videos about this company run by this Polish guy. So I'm going to do a special video about this person's company and put their name and address up in it, which is in the public record at Company's House.
Marvelous.
So, we'll be getting onto that on another stream. But cross my stream, right? Anyway, yeah. So I can tell the pooch is ready. Is Esme sleeping or just simply being very vocal?
No, she is sleeping. Yes.
That sounds like a pretty active dream there.
No, she's not dreaming just yet, but she's got quite hot in the garden, so she's just stopped panting.
Okay, possibly emulating the snoring of her mother from last night. So, yeah. So, well, we're on to book 8. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I have just ordered Lone Wolf book 10. So, and 11 and 12 are available for pre-order from August 23rd. So they're going to be available pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's like I can't keep a straight face with the dog. Okay. Maybe move her away from your mic slightly. Fairly loud. Oh. I'm sure that's even louder now. Right, okay. So that's funny. I still haven't met this dog in person. Feels like a tragedy. Where's Rupert?
He's here as well, yeah.
But just not taking center stage. Ah, Rupert. Yeah. It's like, what's going on?
There's Esme.
Yeah. I think some people just come to watch this stream to see your dog.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
So for those people that have tuned in, we are about to start Jungle of Horrors. I'm going to show where it is in the world of Magnamund in relation to everything else. Now, this is very much another quest to go and get the thing from the thing for the thing. So we are going to be heading to the Darnag unexplored. It used to be a crater of a volcano. Was the scene of a war that raged for 1,000 years with a Dark Lord, name unpronounceable, who was killed. And then the place flourished for a long time. There was a temple built there by the same guys who got us to go into the Castle of Death. So they had a temple there, which also had a lore stone in it. But many years ago, in fact, hundreds of years ago, a plague wiped out all their people there, which allowed the darkness to return. Lots of evil creatures that had been buried beneath the volcano now sort of infected its swampy mists. And now it's a place of treachery and evil. But nevertheless, we think it's a good reason to go there, to go and get this stone. So I just got to the bit where I've picked my skill. You know, you can pick a new skill or whatever it is. And I picked the skill of the one that's animal control.
All right.
I figured we might meet a fair few fierce creatures, so I thought animal control might be worth having. Keith E is in the house, man. This guy is always on my streams. Love that support, Keith. And Desert Phoenix has dashed the link for the Discord, I'm guessing, for the Lone Wolf. Yes, please do. Anyone who's watching, do please share the stream. Do a little post about it. I know it's a bit niche, but you know, people like it. Some people like it. Maltesers. I'm afraid Melissa's dog's eaten all the Maltesers, so there's none unavailable. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got to roll for my 10 crowns. The good news is that I have many monies left over from previously. Oh, hang on, that was a we have to clear that because I wasn't supposed to roll 2 dice. So just the one dice. It's gone. Okay, let's do that. Roll 1d10. There we go. Okay. All right. So we've got 7. So that's nice because currently on my person I have 33 gold crowns. That brings that up to 40. I've also got 12 in my Kai Monastery safe. So I have a total of 52. So, okay. So that's quite nice, isn't it? Rippling flag effect. Now we have a more detailed schematic of the area to which we are traveling. Please forgive the crudity of this drawing. Is one I made earlier. Okay, so this is the Darnag Swamp. I have a feeling we're probably going to be traveling to one of these adjacent towns and then heading in. If you look closely, I think the creature on the left might be Esme in the swamp.
Yes.
That looks a lot like Esme to me. I'm not sure what this thing is at the bottom here. Looks like a squid that's asleep. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. But that's where we're going. So I'll keep it zoomed in about there. All right. So we're allowed to restock up on some food. And we can get potion of lamp spur that restores 4 points. Can't be drunk during combat if not carried in a herb pouch. Oh, I've got a herb pouch. Blah 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 blah. How many of these am I allowed to take? Doesn't say. Well, probably as many as I can carry in my. They must have loads. They must have loads in their rich city because we're still in the city next to Castle of Death. So, right. So let me just get my character sheet up. Stop that for a sec. So, and again, if anybody's watching with any artistical Photoshop skills and they wish to produce me something more aesthetically pleasing than this notepad that I have for my character sheet, please get in touch. Okay, so currently my backpack is empty. I think that's a mistake. I think I actually put the list of what I'd lost somewhere else and then accidentally deleted it. It's got a, because I didn't lose anything, I got out with everything. So it's got a herb pouch in it, which can contain 4 other things if they're like seeds or poison or whatever.
Yeah, because you had some those fire seeds, didn't you?
Fire seeds. I did have some fire seeds.
You collected some extra strength lamp spur as well.
That's right, I did. Did I use it?
Not the extra strength. No, you gained it at the end.
That's right. So yeah, the extra strength one.
Yeah, you did use 1 fire seed, so I think you had 2 left.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's worth a +8. We had some rope in there because you never go anywhere in any Dungeons and Dragons-esque world without 50 feet of rope and 12 iron spikes, as any player will tell you. When you're buying your kit for Dungeons and Dragons, like back in the 80s when we played it, it's always like, yeah, okay, so I'm going to get 50 feet of rope, 12 iron spikes. I'm going to get some chainmail. I'm going to have a breastplate. I'm going to have a helmet, sword, shield, broadsword, short sword, dagger, and you know, and then you've got money. And I'm thinking, like, how fit and agile is this guy that I'm creating? It's all this steel that you know, it's nuts. So yeah, okay. I did have rope. I think that was it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 other lamps for things, which I'll put in the pouch. But that means they only take up 1 space, you see. Times 3 lamps for times 3, and then I will take some food. So I'll take 3 meals. Okay, 3 is normally enough. I'm sure the dog agrees. All right, cool. So yeah, thanks Desert Phoenix and Keith for reposting this elsewhere. Much appreciated. All right, so I think that's it. I think we're good to go on that stuff. All right, so let's put the other map back up. Making sure I've got some water. Right, okay. Did you watch the football today?
No. I baked an apple and blackberry pie.
I saw that. I saw the pictures. Yeah. It was literally like a before and after photo.
It was, yeah.
I was very impressed, Mel. I was actually supposed to go on a date to watch the football game, and I got a text this morning from the person saying, "Oh, you know, sorry, I've been called in for a shift to work," and I was like, "Well, couldn't you have like mentioned that might have been a possibility? So at least I would have known. So then I wouldn't have booked a table and all the rest of it." And then they left me a message saying, "Well, I need the money," and so they didn't have to take it. And I said, "Yeah, well, everybody needs money, but manners are priceless." They didn't like that, so I'm not talking to them anymore. That's the end of that. Right. Okay. So let's have a look. Right. Yeah, I've got the power key in my special items list, so I do still have that, which gives me +2 endurance as well. All right. Okay, so we're ready to go because I've already picked my skill. Now there are these 5 Lawmaster Circle things, which if you complete any of them, there they are. These things. There's one called the Circle of Fire. So if you have Weapon Mastery and Hunt Mastery, it also gives you like extra bonuses, you see, in addition to actually being able to use the skill. Circle of Light, which is Animal Control and Curing. So I have that actually because I've just got both of those because I've already got Curing and I've got Animal Control. Then we have Circle of Solaris, Invisibility, Hunt Mastery, and Pathmanship. I don't think I've got all of those. And Circle of Spirit, Psi Surge, Psi Screen, Nexus, and Deviation. I definitely don't have that. So I have completed now the Circle of Light. Makes me sound very godly. As I'm a deeply religious person, as you know, Mel, that's very appropriate for me.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Very. I'm always in church on Sunday.
Yeah.
So just not this Sunday. Right. So yeah, I'm definitely in the wrong business. I should have become a preacher for Hillsong, then I could buy myself $500 worth of trainers every week. With parishioners' money. Right, so I've completed the Circle of Light, which gives me +4 endurance, which is good because I think the books will get harder, the monsters will get harder. So that's good that I got that. So that means that my endurance is now 30. So that's good. So 30. So I can take a bit more damage. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Well, we're ready to start then. All right. So. Okay. Here we go. There's going to be lots of big and silly names. The Jungle of Horrors. You leave Elysian. So that's the city that we previously visited. Let's just put a big map up for this intro. Pop that there. So this is the Darnag. In the grand scheme of things, I think it's. Look, what's it? Oh, hang on, I've gone wrong there, haven't I? Hold on. Oh, that's right. I can move it around. I forgot I can move it around. So last book, I think we were down here somewhere. Yes. So we're currently in the city of Elysian, which is here. On the edge of this big black mist that's imposing on the coastline. So that's where, and we came to the Kingdom of Desi. There's the Castle of Death. So we're way over to the east at the minute. So you leave Elysian under the cover of darkness on a trading ship bound for Garthan. It is a trim vessel, lean, proud, simple in design, one of 1,000 ships that sail the chain of landlocked seas and lakes dividing the northern and southern continents of Magnamund. Okay. Landlocked seas. Right. Aha. So I think we're probably going through here somewhere, I'm going to guess. Its passage is along the great waterway called the Tenetaris. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There's the Tenetaris. This would be a very picturesque thing. Bit like one of those boats you go on down the Rhine.
Yeah.
It's unlikely to this passage along the waterway is unlikely to invite undue attention, and it is for this reason the elder Magai have placed you aboard. So, in other words, I'm incognito on this boat. The nature of your voyage is secret, but you are not alone, for a guide who is wearing a red Star Trek shirt has chosen to accompany you on this dangerous mission. His name is Pado. So not Frodo or Bilbo. Pado.
Yeah.
A tall, ebony-skinned, flaxen-haired Vaqueros. I like the sound of this person already. He is a master. Okay, I thought it might be a woman. A master of the art of battle magic. Nevertheless, he still wears a red Star Trek shirt. Among his fellow warriors, he is a high-ranking lord, respected and honored for his bravery and skill on the field of battle. Now, for the mission that lies ahead, he has exchanged his gold and scarlet robes for the clothes of a commoner. In other words, he's been to Oxfam charity shop. Okay. So a roving adventurer with a sword for hire is a disguise that you two have adopted to veil your true identity. So I'm obviously not wearing my Kai green cloak, which is a bit of a giveaway. It's a bit like Jedi wandering around in their brown robes. Nothing to see here. I'm definitely not on a mission of most importance. You sail westward. A benevolent wind filling the triangular sail and skimming the ship swiftly across the still blue waters. The hull seems to slide over the surface rather than cut its way through. You cannot help but wonder if Pado has conjured up some magic to speed you on your mission. Okay, so I'm going to say we're probably a bit further along now. We'll just move the map a bit. Oh, yes, because there's the Darnag up there. Look.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay. All right. Your first port of call is the city of Talon. Maybe we've gone past it. Where is it? The first port of call is the city of Talon. Can you see Talon there? I don't see it. It's got to be on the coast of the. Maybe someone in chat can spot it.
I think it's just a bit further left, where you've got the two rivers that coming down.
Here,
is that it?
Around here.
Yeah, is that it?
Farwatch, Boomars, Honest, Kamari, Fort Tenga, I don't see Talon there. There's actually there's a little town here called Nornor, which sounds like Nana. That's quite cute, isn't it? Oh, hang on, it's all the way back here. It's in the mid-sea, so we're not in the Tanaris yet. Okay.
Oh, right.
First port of call is Talon, where food stocks and fresh water are replenished. Then the voyage continues along to the port of Arello. Okay, all right. So we continue past there to the port of Arello. Oh, right, that's here. Okay, so we're now here. The last stopping place before your journey ends at Garthen, crown capital of Telistria. You may wish to note that you have visited Garthen for future reference. Okay, so we go to Garthen. Right, where's Garthen then? Oh, right, it's here. Okay, so looks like Noddy's house. This one here. All right, so usually if they say you may wish to note that you visited this place, you should always write it down, because there might be a chapter or a page you turn to. It says, have you visited the city of Garthen? If so, turn to page 99. If not, turn to page 7. Page 7. You have died.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, right, city of Garthen. It's an hour past midnight when you dock at Varnus Harbour in Garthen, a sprawling network of quays, crackstone jetties that shelter great fleets of merchants, traders, and dhows, whatever that means. Silently like a shadow, you disembark and follow Pado through the twisting harbour streets, slowly climbing the steep stairs that connect one level of Garthen to the next. Sounds like a one of those towns on an island in Greece with all the steep passageways. Rusty lanterns cast pools of yellow light beneath the timbered balconies, illuminating the stalls of merchants and vendors who will haggle, brag, and barter in the crowded streets till dawn. Oh, it's a pretty lively place then. Market all night long. Pado halts at an iron-shod door and raps the grille with the hilt of his blue sword. A man's face appears, stern and handsome. Oh, by the way, have you got your phone handy with WhatsApp?
I'm actually on my phone.
Oh, okay. Because what I was going to do was, if there was anything where you had to read out a voice for me, I was going to WhatsApp you the text.
Oh, right.
Never mind.
There's a chat in here that you can use.
Do you know? The funny thing is, as well, is that I can't copy and paste it. I'd have to type it out, which would take way too long. But there's all the books are free online on a website called Project Aeon, but they are the older versions of the book, so any mistakes and stuff won't be corrected. Anyway, let us continue. Okay, so a man's face appears, stern and handsome. There you go. That was an impression of the stern and handsome man. Smooth, dark hair, keen and intelligent eyes. Oh, it's sounding really familiar, this guy. A smile of recognition softens his lordly features. Okay, maybe not that familiar. When he sees Pado. In an instant, the door swings open and you are ushered inside. The man's name is Adamus, commander of the Battlestar Galactica. He is constable of the Royal Citadel, protector and cousin of Queen Evelyn of Telistria. For centuries, a strong bond of friendship has existed between the royal household and the magicians of Desi. And when you were called upon by the elder Magi to help you in your quest, Queen Evain pledged her support without hesitation. She has volunteered the services of Lord Adamus, who is tasked with ensuring your safe and unhindered passage through Telestria to the borders of the Darnag. So now we've got two people with red Star Trek shirts with us on the journey. At dawn, after snatching a few hours' sleep, you are taken by coach to the East City Wharf, where an empty corn barge is waiting to ferry you upriver. Haulage is provided by 8 large Gorkas. These hairy ox-like creatures from the plains of Slovia are harnessed to the barge by chains. They lumber along the cobbled towpath, continually kept in line by the stinging lash of the barge owner's whip. The next day, the barge arrives at the small river village of Lona. Okay, Lona. Where's that? Trusk. Oh, it might be so small that it's not on the map. Perhaps. Is it on the other one? Let's have a look. It is not on the other one. Okay, so yeah, I don't see Lona on here, but we'll take it as gospel that it. I assume we're going up we're going to go past Trusk and up this river and into the swamp that way. Looks like the most logical. Oh wait, there's the town of Luna. Ah, is that not an error then? I think we might have spotted a mistake, because we're in Garthen. At dawn after state, you're taken by coach east to the city, to the East City Wharf. Okay, but that text is a bit confusing, because it says we're taken by coach to the East City Wharf, where we're loaded on a barge to go up the river, and the town of Luna is here. So that's actually an error in the lore of the book. We've just spotted one, which means that really the town of Garthen should really be here.
Yeah.
Or the text should be changed to say in the morning we go by coach. But if we go by coach to the east through the Garthen halls, we would pick up the barge at Slade, not at Luna, which is further down. Spotted an error there in the text. So we haven't even started yet. I've got good comms with the people that design all these. There's a competition, by the way, to design a banner. This sounds like a project that you can help me with, Mel, with all your immense knitting abilities. Okay, let's continue. The next day, the barge arrives at the village of Lona, where a detachment of Lord Adama's cavalry, resplendent in surcoats of scarlet. See, Star Trek shirts again, and pale provide you with horses for cross-country journey to the fortified city of Fina. Okay, so now we're traveling all the way up to here, Fina, which is just east of the Darnag. Is that on this map? It is. Okay, so we can switch to the big map now, or the other one. So let's do that. Okay. All right. So we're now in Fina, which is the city at the bottom of the map here, just east of the Darnag here. Okay. City of Triple Towers. Zegron, warlord of Zana, ruler of the Balan Highlands of Olga, has amassed an army of Drakiran warriors. 3 days ago, they attacked the border town of Lukos to the north. Okay, that's here. Now, I suspect that's why the city of Kanar is all black, you see, because it's evil.
Yeah.
So that's the Telestrian garrison put up a brave and spirited defense, but they were hopelessly outnumbered by the bloodthirsty Orgine horde that drove the perimeter walls with battering rams and engines of war. The Draken razed Lukos to the ground, and only a handful of survivors escaped to tell tale. The situation is most grave, reports Lord Adamus on returning from an emergency conclave with his fellow Telestrian knights. 4 decades, Zegron and his minions have raided our northern territories, but never before with such determination and strength. We must mobilize our army for war. I must return to Garthen to muster my retainers in preparation for the battle and inform the Queen of the evil that threatens her realm. I can no longer escort you to the Darnag, though your quest must proceed in spite of all that conspires against it. Don't worry, you say. You can now take off your red Star Trek vest. You have survived. Okay. He sends for his scribe, who arrives with helpers laden with paraphernalia of his craft. He dictates an order of safe conduct, sets the impression of his signet ring into it. Our northern people are frontier folk, wary and suspicious of strangers. If challenged, show this pass and your safe passage will be assured by all who are loyal to Queen Yvonne. Yvain, mark this pass on your action chart. I don't need to do that in the voice. It's a special item which you carry inside your tunic. You do not need to discard another item. Okay, so that is called we'll call it the Royal Pass then, shall we?
Yeah.
Right, I'll put that on the doodah. Royal Pass. I've actually got space for it as well. So Royal Pass. from Queen, whatever her name was. Okay, all right. All right. Okay, we're now our first choice. Here we go, Mel. Finding out, go to page 50. Early next morning, Lord Adamus accompanies you and Pado to the main square of Fina. It's from here that your quest begins. The first leg of your journey to the Darnag will take you north to the town of Tharo. Will it now? Oh, I see. That's just north out of the city. That's the town just here.
Oh, yeah.
And then further up is Siada. And then I guess we'll be going into the Darnag from there. Okay, there are two ways of reaching the town. You can travel by road, or you can take the barge along the River Fowen. Oh, okay, I see that there. So, here, those are the choices. Do we want to travel to Tharo by barge, or Tharo along the Great North Road? When people in chat, let us know what you think as well. Should we go barge or road? What are your thoughts, Melissa?
I'm thinking barge. I'm thinking if there's an evil marauding army, there might be some scouts on the road.
Yeah.
We might end up in a fight.
I was thinking that the barge may be less likely to send us towards conflict, but it is slightly further to the east. But then then our next stop off point is the town, so they both link to the town, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go on the barge. All right. Okay, barge. Traveling by barge, turn to 271. Okay. 271. Let me get the things out here. 271. Okay. You and Pado bid farewell to Lord Adamus and spur your horses along the wide paved street towards the city's gatehouse. Oh yes, this is the barge one. The wagon-worn highway leads to the village of Shah, a small wood-walled enclave of fishermen and barges built around a great stone bridge which spans the River Fowen. You leave the highway and following a twisting path down to the river's edge, there a barge is ready to leave for Tharo. Its team of Gawkers are harnessed and the crew are preparing to cast off the thick rope. Captain sees you approach and calls to his men. Hold fast, lads! Looks like we've two more for Tharo. A gangplank is lowered and the crew guides your horses aboard. As you dismount, the captain strides along the bleached wood deck, greets you like an old friend. Lord Adamus sent word to expect two riders for this trip. Thought I'd almost given up waiting for you to show up. He's paid your fares and said you may be wanting some privacy. So I set aside a cabin at the stern. My lads will see to the horses. Captain points you to the rear of the barge, where two sets of stairs descend below the deck. Take the stairs on your left. The cabin is a door at the end of the gangway. If you'd be wanting some food or ale, there's a tap room in the hold. Just take the stairs to the right. Okay, do we go straight to the cabin or investigate the tap room? Those are the choices.
Oh, investigate the tap room.
I think investigate the tap room. Let's get pissed. We're on the barge. What could go wrong?
We might pick up some useful information there.
Well, we might do. We might do. Indeed. Useful information is always good. Oh, three choices in the tap room. The hold is crowded with travellers on their way north. For most, it's a regular journey home after selling their wares in Fina. Their purses are full, their mood is jovial, and they pass the time drinking and playing games of chance. One of the crew glances up from serving, wipes his hands on his apron, and hurries over to welcome you. He points to a plank table at the far end of the hold. That is bowed beneath the weight of several kegs of ale and earthenware platters of food. He asks if you would care for some refreshments. 2 jugs of ale, please, replies Pado. Decide he's really posh. Oh, Nerdly UK's here. Always head to the tap room. So most people are going to want to fight you on the road. Yeah, that could well be the case. Well, we'd not take the road. Certainly, sir, replies the bargee in a servile tone. I have 3 fine ales to delight your palates: Farina Nog, Chai Cheer, or Borg Brew. Okay, so funnily enough, the 3 choices that we have are which one of the ales do we want to try? So that makes me a bit suspicious. Farina Nog, Chai Cheer, or Boar Brew. I mean, Boar Brew definitely sounds like it's going to give you wind.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Chai Cheer, so you can be all cheerful.
Yeah.
Maybe. Farina Nog is the other one.
No, let's go for the chai.
Go for the chai. Have a bit of chai. 218. All right. It's quite funny that the options are the 3 beers. That's not very common in Lone Wolf. You do get to drink ales though. Joe Diva was a fan of the ales. The bargee hands you a tankard filled to the brim with chai cheer. Its greenish hue does little to inspire your confidence, but your doubts are soon dissolved by your first taste of this beverage. It's delicious. Pado raises his tankard and takes a great mouthful of the ale of his choice, Farina Nog. Immediately he spits it out and wipes away its insipid taste on the back of his hand. Bile juice, he sputters, slamming down the mug. You should be a sight more careful where you empty your mouth. Hang on, this is another character. You should be a sight more careful where you empty your mouth, stranger, growls the man sitting next to Pado. He bends down and picks up his polished steel helmet. With a slow and deliberate twist of his wrist, he empties it of ale, pouring the contents all over Pado's feet. I thought you said people were only going to want to fight us on the road, Keith.
Yeah.
Your companion curses and reaches instinctively for his sword. If you wish to take immediate action to stop the fight breaking out, turn to 314. If you decide to do nothing, turn to 253.
I think we should try. Yeah, I think we should break up the fight.
Yeah, though it could be quite fun just to watch. All right, 253. Yeah, it wouldn't be very Kai-like. It wouldn't be very Jedi-like of us, would it?
No.
No. Okay. The man springs to his feet, unhooks an axe from his belt, and is ready for combat. Yeah, I've added a skill already, Keith. I did that. He wears a knee-length surcoat, scarlet cloth over a suit of heavy chainmail upon his chest, emblazoned with a crest depicting a castle on an open hand. Pado hesitates, not from fear of his opponent, but because he suddenly recognized the uniform of the soldier of the Tharo garrison. Okay, so he's from the garrison of Tharo, wherever that is. Oh, right, that's the town we're going to. There'll be no fighting on my barge, booms the angry voice of the captain. Sheath your weapons or I'll shine some daylight through your gizzards. The captain stands at the foot of the taproom stairs. Most of the passengers now have their fingers jammed in their ears in case he should fire his deadly boar musket. Pado lowers his sword and apologizes for his rashness. He offers to buy the soldier an ale. The man accepts, but on one condition: if it's not a mug of Farina Nog. Turn to 126. Well, I guess that all ended well. It didn't seem like we did anything though.
No.
I wonder what would have been different if I just sat there. It sounds like it would have just gone the same way. The bargee brings a round of chai cheer to your table. You drink to the health of Queen Yvain of Telestria. To Queen Yvain of Telestria. You're supposed to join in there, Mal. You failed.
All right.
Never mind. Next time. The mood soon becomes much friendlier, and you learn that the soldier, whose name is Trost, is on his way back to his post at the Tharo garrison after enjoying a week's leave with his family in Fina. As you drink the ale, the sound of applause rises above the hubbub of the taproom conversation. An elderly man, tall and distinguished looking, walks to the center of the floor and bows to his audience. His pale face and silver grey are stark contrast. He smiles warmly and introduces himself as Count Conundrum. That's his name, really, Count Conundrum. Okay. I am Count Conundrum, the Prince of Puzzles. For your amusement, I will pose some brain-twisting conundrums. So confident is he that none of you will be able to answer his riddles correctly that he's offering 20 Luna to anyone who can prove him wrong. And I don't know how much Luna is, because it's not the same as gold crowns. A hush descends as the passengers await his first puzzle. If 1.5 geese lay 1.5 eggs in 1.5 days, how many eggs will 3 geese lay in 8 days? Do you want to write that down? Okay, so they're asking us for a number, and then the options are we can either try and answer the riddle, in which case we've got to turn to the correct number, and if we can't answer the riddle, we have to turn to a different page. So if 1.5 geese, so half a goose lays half an egg. Right, so if 1.5 geese in 1.5 days lay 1.5 eggs, how many eggs will 3 geese lay in 8 days? Well, 3 geese will lay 3 eggs, right?
Yeah,
according to the logic of this riddle. Every 1.5 days they'll lay 3 eggs. So
yeah.
how many 1.5s go into 8? 4?
No, because that's whole day. So
okay, can anyone in the chat answer this riddle?
So 2, 3.
And chat, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it out again in case anyone wants to have a crack. I won't do the voice. If 1.5 geese lay 1.5 eggs in 1.5 days, how many eggs will 3 geese lay
6
in 8 days?
7, 8. Okay. So 3, 6. 7.5.
I think it's 16. It can't be 7.5 because the sections of the book are not in halves, and we've got to turn to a page number. I think it's 16. 1.5 geese lay 1.5 eggs in 1.5 days. How many eggs will 3 geese lay in 8 days? 3 geese are laying 3 eggs every 1.5 days. So for 4 days, they will do. In 4 days, they will do 12.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then in the other 4 days, that will take it to 16.
Well, it's in order to make it 8 days, it's 2 days. If you see what I mean. So
yeah.
I
think it's 16. All right, let me see if I'm right. I'll turn to.
Yeah, I think you might be right, actually.
I think it's 16. You call out the answer, and at first the man pretends not to hear. I'm assuming this is the right section.
Yeah.
Hurriedly, he begins to pose a second puzzle, but the crowd shout him down and insist he answer your call. A lucky guess, he says, flustered at the thought of losing 20 Luna. Perhaps our friend can explain how he arrived at his answer. Your reply that the answer is simple. If 1.5 geese lay 1.5 eggs in 1.5 days, it therefore follows that 3 geese will lay 3 eggs in 1.5 eggs, or 2 eggs in 1 day. Thus, in 8 days, 3 geese would lay 16 eggs. Yeah, because that's what you said, two eggs in a day.
Yeah.
The crowd applauds your display of logic, much to the chagrin of Count Conundrum, who is obliged to part reluctantly with 20 Luna. Record the Luna in your belt pouch section of your action chart. 20 Luna occupy the same space as 5 gold crowns. Okay, so there we've got in addition to our gold crown monies, we've got 20 Luna. All right. Okay. Put them in there. Well, having tremendous fun on this barge. What a good idea. Just think we could have missed Count Conundrum.
Yeah.
So, turn to 141. Guess we've had enough of Count Conundrum, potentially. Okay, so, very well, says Count Conundrum. Just to make our journey to Tharo a little more interesting, if there is anyone here who can answer my next puzzle, they will receive from me 40 Luna, no less.
Ooh.
Delighted whisperings emanate from the crowd.
Ooh.
Very good, Mel. Almost on cue. Right, so here's the riddle. In winter, he begins. Oh, the ice lilies of the Lake Addon double in the area every 24 hours. It takes 60 days from the time the first ice lily appears until the lake is completely covered with them. On what day is the lake half covered with lilies? Okay, right, hang on, let's look at that again. In winter, he begins. The ice-lit lilies of Lake Addon double the area every 24 hours. It takes 60 days from the time the first ice lily appears until the lake is completely covered. On what day is the lake half covered with lilies? I mean, it can't be 30. That's too obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Count Conundrum. It's not 30. I had a quick peek. So, any idea? Anyone any idea in the chat? Ice lilies on Lake Addon double the area every 24 hours. It takes 60 days from the time the first ice lily appears until the lake is completely covered. On what day is the lake half covered with lilies?
59.
Is it? Right. Yes, I think you're right. Because then it doubles and then fills up the rest.
Yeah.
I think you might be right, Mel. I think you might be right. Let's turn to 59. You've got it. What little colour there is in Count Conundrum's already pallid face drains completely away. Crowd hoots with delight.
Woo! Woohoo!
And as he nods his head slowly to affirm you have given the right answer. As the ice lilies double in number each day, it follows that the lake is half covered on the day before it is fully covered. Begrudgingly, the Count hands you over your prize, 40 Luna. So we've now got 60. And our money pouch is now full. Okay.
And that's the equivalent of 15 gold crowns then.
That's Indeed, yeah, because 20 is worth 5.
Yeah.
So, turns 338. Okay. Well, we haven't had a single combat yet. How unlike Lone Wolf. I think if on the road, we probably would have had about 5 fights by now. Okay. Oh, good God, there's another one. And finally, for my last puzzle, I offer this beautiful treasure, he says, as he draws a small silver box inlaid with pearls from the pocket of his robes. This priceless artifact was stolen from the treasure hoard of Valbrog the Enchanter. On hearing this wondrous revelation, the tap room comes alive with chatter. You are inclined to disbelieve this tale. But nonetheless, it is a beautiful object and undoubtedly worth at least 100 luna, perhaps more. Silence descends on the hold as all await the Count's final puzzle. Okay, so here we go. Chat, listen in. Put your answer in the chat, Keith, Melvin. Oh, I didn't see Melvin was there. Good to see you, Melvin. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. So, here we go. When I was last in the market of Garthen. Sorry, I'll do the voice. When I was last in the market of Garthen, filming Monty Python, I asked an egg trader how many eggs he had sold that day. He replied, my first customer said he would buy half my eggs and half an egg more. My second and third customers said exactly the same thing. When I'd filled all 3 orders, I was completely sold out of eggs, yet I hadn't broken a single egg all day. How many eggs had the trader sold? Shit, that's a hard one. My first customer said he would buy half my eggs and half an egg more. How can you only buy half an egg?
I don't know.
My second and third customers said exactly the same. So that's half of the eggs that he had left each time.
Yeah, so it's a quarter.
Just half an egg more. Yeah. But they also sold. He sold 3 halves as well. 1 and a half. Not sure about this one. The dog. Good to see you, Melvin. Anyone got an answer for this? Anyone got an answer for this riddle in the chat? Let us know. Got an answer. My first customer said. See, the funny thing is, the wording of that said he would buy. It doesn't actually commit to him purchasing anything.
No.
Said he would buy half my eggs and half an egg more. The second and third customers said exactly the same thing. When I'd filled all 3 orders, I was completely sold out of eggs and hadn't broken a single egg all day. How many eggs has the trader sold in all? Well, he was completely sold out, so they must have bought some. I'm at a loss. No idea. I'll just give chat a chance to respond. I feel like we need to get this item. Esme, that's not the correct answer. We need something a bit more audible. What
options does it give you?
Well, if you can't answer the riddle, you have to turn to 133, which means obviously you don't get the funky box. Okay, Melvin is asking me to read it again. Okay, so I will read it again, but I need an answer quickly. When I was last in the market of Garthen, I asked an egg trader how many eggs he had sold that day. He replied, my first customer said that he would buy half my eggs and half an egg more. My second and third customers said exactly the same thing. when I'd filled all 3 orders, I was completely sold out of eggs that day. Oh, you know what? To work out what the number is, we need to work out the portion of eggs being sold in reverse, because it's a larger number that gradually diminishes, right?
Yeah.
The first guy buys half the eggs he's got, then the second guy buys half of what's left from that, and that reduces it more, and then the last person buys half and clears it out. So if we can work out what the last amount was that was taken, we can then double that and then double it again, and that will give us the number. My first customer said he would buy half my eggs and half an egg more. My second and third customers said exactly the same thing. When I had filled all 3 orders, I was completely sold out of eggs, yet I hadn't broken a single egg all day. How many eggs had the egg trader sold in all? So I'm wondering if the final number of eggs he had was 2.5. I don't get this half though, because there's 3 halves, and that won't give us. That will give us
No, because what I'm thinking is if the first one buys half the eggs and half an egg, and then the second 2 say they're buying half and half an egg, then they would be buying a quarter, and they would be buying the other half an egg between them, so they'd be getting a quarter of an egg.
Right. So that number therefore is 2.
Yes.
So the last digit is definitely 2, I think. Okay, so that's all right. So that totals up to 2 eggs.
No, that's one egg, because the first one buys half the egg, the other 2 buy half of the half an egg each, so a quarter. So that's 1 egg.
Okay, right. So that's 1 egg.
Yeah.
So we need to work out how many. Melvin says no, he's beat. Keith says he's only selling half eggs. He's only selling half eggs. Really? Oh, right. That might be the clue. Might be in the first. The first customer said that he would buy half my eggs and half an egg more. I'm still no idea. This one is puzzling me. I'm annoyed we can't get it, because I want to see the description of the Count Conundrum's crestfallen face as we steal the last of his monies. Okay, right, we're giving up then. Guess we have to. Looks like Count Conundrum beat us on the last one. 1-3, turner 1-3-3. Once more, he repeats his conundrum. He allows his audience to ponder it for a few more minutes, but still no one's offered an answer. Finally, he pockets the silver box and declares his puzzling at an end. Nerdly says, "Go north." We're not going to the wall, Nerdly. We're not.
I'm just wondering if the answer's 5.
5. Okay, well, let me turn to 5 in case you're right.
I don't think it is, but
no, because passage 5 begins with the words, "The gigantic spider closes for the kill." So I'm going to suggest that that's not correct. Good try, though. At first, the crowd groaned with disappointment, but they're quick to show their appreciation by applauding loudly when the Count leaves the hold. "Honey Lodge!" shouts the bargee. 5 minutes to Honey Lodge! All aboard the Skylark! A group of farmers gather up their belongings, say farewell to the travelling companions, and begin to climb the tap broom. If you decide to go up on deck and watch them disembark, turn to 7-3. If you prefer to stay in the tap room, turn to 2-3-6. So are we not getting off here? I guess we're not. No, because we're getting off at Tharo, aren't we? Tharo.
Yeah.
Do we wish to go up on deck?
Yeah.
Watch people depart. Yeah? Or stay in the tap? Go up on deck. All right, 73. The hamlet of Honey Lodge is small by any comparison, comprises of 2 cottages, a barn, and a stone watchtower that are clustered in a circle at the river's edge. A gang of excited young boys are waiting on the rain-swept jetty to welcome home their fathers. Gandalf! Each one is hoping for a present. Gandalf! Yeah, definitely. Perhaps a fishing rod or a hunting bow, or possibly a M10 machine gun from the market palace of Fina. 8 men, including the Count, disembark at Honey Lodge. Only one new passenger embarks for the journey to Tharo. He is a thin individual with hard grey eyes that gleam coldly from beneath his wide-brimmed oilskin hat. Slung at his side is a narrow-bladed sword, and in his hand he clutches a leather-bound book. Its cover as plain and as black as his clothing. He pays his fare and descends into the tap room. He sounds a bit suspicious.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah. Now it says, if you have the Magna Kai skill discipline of size screen and you have reached the rank of tulatory, turn to 23. I don't think I've got size screen. Yeah, no, it's Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones and the Jungle of Horrors. That's actually a pretty cool title, although they would CGI the jungle, so the film would be shit. Let me just check my. No, I don't have size screen, so if you do not possess this skill, turn to 325. Okay. Oh, look! I found a picture of Esme here. Almost as attractive as you, Esme. Almost. 325. A sudden chill makes you shiver. Lose 3 endurance points. Are you all right, Pedro? Says Pedro. Perhaps we should go below and you should shelter from this filthy storm. You answer with a nod and follow him down the tap room to the welcoming warmth of the hold. The soldier Trost greets you upon your return, but you fail to notice him. You are too busy scanning for the stranger. You see him seated alone in a shadowy corner opposite your table. He is quietly reading his black book. Well, okay, so my endurance has just dropped to 25. No, sorry, 27. But I may well start curing it back then, whilst I stay out of combat. So, turn to 166. Trust swallows the last drop of ale, turns his head to see what is attracting your attention. He catches sight of the new passenger and begins to choke. By the stars, it's him. It's Kezor the Necromancer. He pulls a crumpled scroll from inside his tunic and unfurls it on the table. On it is a picture of a man's face. The cruel features bear an uncanny resemblance to those of the stranger. Beneath the picture you read, Notice of Death, Kesnor the Necromancer, renegade shaman of Margaruth, leader of the forbidden sect of Dazduduzgul. It is hereby proclaimed by lawful authority that in just retribution for vile acts of black sorcery perpetrated throughout the free lands of Telestria and on Esme's head, a bounty of 10,000 luna is offered for the head of Kezor the Necromancer by order of Queen Evane of Telestria. This could be a chance to make our fortune, whispers Trost. Help me take him and we'll split the reward. Agreed? If you decide to help Trost attack the Necromancer, turn to 65. I think that's a bad idea. I'm just going to say.
I think it's a bad idea, yeah.
Because if this guy can give me the chills and I lose an endurance point, and I've now got one of them back because we went to a thing and I've healed up to 28. I think it's a bad idea.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so having agreed that we're not going to do that, let's go to 224. I'm sorry, old fellow, but I don't think that's a good idea, I say. What? Exclaims Trost incredulously. Are you afraid of a snivelling grave poacher? If you're not help me, then I'll do the job alone. Before you have a chance to respond, he leaves the table, advances towards the stranger. The man remains motionless, engrossed in his black book. Trost draws his sword, holds it aloft, the notice of the death with his free hand. You are Kaitor the Necromancer, an outlaw in this land. The man remains as still as a statue. By the authority of Queen Yvain, I... Trost stops in mid-sentence, his commanding voice becoming little more than a stifled groan. As Kezor looks up, he's doing a Darth Vader on him. His hard grey eyes glow with unnatural intensity. Trost screams, and his face becomes a mass of swelling and eruptive boils. He collapses to his knees as his pain grows more intense. I'll finish this worm, snarls Pado. Oh dear, he's about to earn his Star Trek shirt. Incensed by Trost's agony and the cruel, gloating laugh of his tormentor, he draws his sword and strides across the hold. But before he can strike, the necromancer conjures forth a new and more horrific summation. Oh dear. What are we going to have to deal with now? 206. A horde of black spiders carpets the floor, their bulbous bellies crouched on hairy, angular legs. In a sudden rush, they scuttle towards Pado, their eyes glinting and mandibles gaping wide. Now, it gives us the option. If you have a bow and you wish to use it, if you do not have a bow or you do not wish to use it, turn elsewhere.
We do have a bow.
We do have a bow. I've got a large quiver, 12 arrows. But, I mean, it's a horde of... So I've got hiccups now, sorry. It's a horde of spiders. Realistically, how many can we take out?
Are you taking out the spiders or the necromancer, though?
Good point. Good point. By the way, Desert Phoenix said the answer was 7 eggs. Let's see if he was correct. I'm just gonna. It was correct. The answer was 7. Desert, why didn't you say this earlier when we were asking the chat for help? Yeah, the count looks flabbergasted when you call out the correct answer. This is the correct answer. Dejectedly, he hands over the beautiful silver box and quietly leaves the hold. Oblivious. If you wish to keep the silver box, mark it on your action chart. Okay. Well, we didn't get it at the time, so we're not gonna cheat there. Okay. Well, yeah. I think maybe then we should use the bow and try and take out the necromancer, right?
Yeah.
So 2, 4, 6. You draw back an arrow until its feathered flights are touching your cheek. You take careful aim at the necromancer, but passengers are running wildly across your field of fire, and you kill 3 old ladies. No. Dare not to release the arrow for fear of hitting one of them. Precious seconds elapse as you await your chance to fire. Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the Magna Chi discipline of weapon mastery, you can add 3 to the number you've picked. Well, I've got the bow that gives me a +3. So when I get the weapon mastery, which I nearly chose, I will have a +6. Yeah, it took a while to figure that out. No shit, man. We would have been waiting a long time. Well done, though. Well done. It's very good. Okay, we got a roll of dice. Combat situation. Here we go. Let's see. We want that one, don't we? Yeah, we want that one. Okay. All right. All right, so we're going to add 3 to this number we're going to roll. 6, we rolled a 9. If you roll 8 or higher, turn to 213. That sounds good. I think we've done well there. You fire and the arrow hits the necromancer, twisting him around and pitching him over. Although badly wounded, he quickly scrambles back to his feet. Turn to 199. Kezor shrieks in frustration. He renews his attack on Pado by cheating more of the hideous creatures, but your companion uses his battle magic to summon fire to his aid. From the tip of his sword, a sheet of flame wafts down upon the spiders, now closing in for the kill. They flare brightly, their legs withering in the flames, their crackling black bodies dropping to the floor, crumbling away into glowing motes of dust. "Attack!" shouts Pado, and together you advance against your foe. Keza draws his sword and mouths a silent spell of protection as he prepares to engage you both in a fight to the death. Keza is immune to Mind Blast and Psi Surge. You may halve any endurance point losses you sustain as Pado fights by your side. He receives half of the damage. If you're okay, right. Well, I've got combat skill of 30. He's got 26. That's a difference of 4, but he has got endurance of 43. So, Mel, if you can keep a mental note of the damage as I reduce his by down to 43.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. We're on the +4 chart. I mean, he could have tried to look a bit more subtle and less evil when he boarded the barge, you know.
Yeah.
All right, that's a 6. A 6 on the +4. Enemy takes 10 points of damage. And I've taken 2, which is halved to 1. So my endurance is currently 27.
He's down to 33.
Okay, second round of combat. That's not so good. A 1. He has taken 5 points of damage. I've taken 4, which is halved to 2. So that means I'm currently on 25.
He's on 28.
Thank you. Third round of combat. 5. 5. He has taken 9 points of damage. I've taken 2, halved to 1. I'm currently on 24.
He's on 19.
19. Okay, looking good. Looking good. 4. God, not getting the high rolls. He's taken 9 points of damage. I've taken 2, halved to 1 again. So I'm currently on 23.
He's on 10.
Okay, he's going down. He's going down to Chinatown, baby. Okay. 5. I was hoping for something in the higher realms. Okay, he's taken 9. 9 points of damage again.
He's got 1 then.
Okay, I've taken 1, so I'm down to 22. All right, final round of combat, I reckon. This die rolling is really bad. Well, he's taken 7.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, okay. I'm down to 21. If you win this combat, turn to 46. There's me. Your variations of snoring is most impressive. Kezor lies dead, but Pado tells you, "Do not approach the body, Lone Wolf. I've heard tell these priests of an evil clan can awaken even after death to avenge themselves. Stand back, and I'll make sure this one never returns to haunt us." Pado raises his sword and severs Kezor's head with one swift. Well, you could have just said somebody to chop his head off. Both eyelids spring open to reveal a pair of eyes that are burning red with hatred. Yet the evil fire within them swiftly dies. "There, it is done," says Pado, whipping his sword carefully on the helm of his tunic, wiping his sword carefully. "Where's Trost?" You cast your eyes to the place where he fell and see a fine blackened body covered with the heaps of remains of incinerated spiders. "There he is," you say sadly. Pado takes a blanket from his backpack and drapes it over the corpse of Trost before reciting the words of the Canula, whatever that is. It is an ancient vicarious prayer. Okay, that's what it is. For brave souls who have fallen in battle. All right, okay. Turn to page 80. So, 80. Here we are. "In the name of the gods." Oh, hang on, it's Captain. "In the name of the gods, what happened here?" thunders the captain as he hurries down the tap room stairs. Crowding passengers huddle in his wake. Although clearly frightened, they are curious to discover the outcome of the fight that has devastated the hull. I'll see you pay for this. This is going to cost hundreds of luna to fix up this damage. Pay now, I'll take you out of your hides. Pado snatches the cloth from the nearby table, scoops up the head of Kazor, wrapping it and tying it tightly with cord. He tosses the gruesome package to the captain, together with the notice of death that lies beside Trosk's scorched body. That'll pay you handsomely for the damage, Captain, says Pado, and be sure that the balance goes to the family of this brave chap, or we'll take it out of your hide, my good fellow. As the captain reads the scroll, a wide grin spreads slowly across his weather-worn face. So, Kezel finally met his fate aboard my barge, eh? Maybe I'll leave the hull just as it is. Plenty of folks will pay to see the place where this evil rogue ended his days. The captain orders his crew to prepare the corpses for burial, and as the barges carry away Kezel's remains, you notice his black book lying on the floor. If you have the Magna Chi discipline of divination and have reached the rank of tulatory, turn at once to page 179. I have, and I do have divination. So 179. You sense that the book contains details of acts that are wholly evil. It is a copy of the Magnamund Penthouse edition. It is an unholy book, but one which cannot be protected by any curse or trap. If you wish to examine it, now that you're sure it's safe, turn to 312. If you decide you not want to look in this evil book, turn to 255. So, examine the evil book, or what do we think?
I kind of think examine it.
Yeah, I think so. Knowledge is power. That's what knowledge is power. Oh, okay. Cautiously you open the black book. The pages are made of metal, as thin as flexible as silkweave parchment. Complex words and symbols are etched into its tiny surface with ink that shimmers like sunlight on the sea. The strange designs are unlike anything you've ever seen before, but you sense that they are wholly evil. Okay, they're wholly evil designs. But then you notice something tucked into the spine. It is a tiny scroll of parchment. You unfurl it and your pulse quickens. It contains a message written in Gaiac, the language used by the servants of the Dark Lords. So we have a picture of this scroll. There we go. I know what that means. If you decide to keep this scroll, mark it in your action chart. Well, I think we will.
I think so.
You keep adding an extra letter when you say divination. Oh, yeah. Divination. Divination, isn't it? Divination. Anyway, it's the world of Lone Wolf. I can pronounce it any way I like. Because they pronounce things differently in the world of Magnamund. Right, okay. So, so we've got the evil scroll. I'm going to have to chuck something out of my possessions. I'll get rid of the large diamond. That's I'll give it to the captain as an extra thank you. Okay, evil scroll. Okay. The scroll of growling.
Yeah.
255. 255. Right, okay. Of time. 7:30. All right. I won't go past 8 o'clock tonight, so it's coming up to 7:30 now. So we'll definitely call it by 8 o'clock. So I don't think we'll do the whole book. I'll be surprised. Can I say 255?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The stench of scorched fur hangs heavily in the tap room. The remainder of the ghastly spiders. The smell turns your stomach, and you motion for Pado to follow you up on deck. Contemptuously, they weigh Kez's corpse with bricks and hurl him over the side. However, Trost's body is treated with great respect. They lay him in an oaken chest, and the captain leads his fellow passengers in prayer as it is lowered gracefully in the foam. The heavy rain and the burial have delayed the journey. The bargees tried to make up lost time by whipping the Gawkers, but to no avail. The muddy towpath and their waterlogged fur prevent them from moving any faster. It's mid-afternoon by the time the barge arrives at the next stopping place, Ferry House, a ramshackle building perched precariously on the edge of the riverbank. Two plain farmers disembark here. You hear them talking excitedly about the events they have witnessed, their voices gradually fading as the barge moves on. In other words, now everybody's going to know where I am, because the farmers tell their mates who are going to tell everybody else. Okay. Oh, that sounds like a big dragon approaching. Okay. You stare across the lush open plains that border upon the river, contempling the quest that lies ahead. A flock of long-necked orcrills fly overhead, their melodic call echoing across the grasslands. Pado sits silently beside you at the prow. His thoughts, like yours, are on the perils of the Darnag. We haven't even got to the swamp yet. Sun is low in the skies when you catch sight of Tharo. Its mud-coloured walls, thick high, dominate the hill on which it was built centuries ago. The barge passes beneath a stout wooden bridge, supported by rough-hewn pillars of stone, along a canal running parallel to the river. It draws to a halt before two massive metal-bound doors that span the waterway. You collect your horses and disembark with other mounted passengers, riding in line towards the fortified gate. At first, you're turned away by the guards, but when you show your pass, signed and sealed by Lord Adama of the fleet, you are both ushered to the front of the queue and saluted like lords as you ride through the archway into the square beyond. 3 streets converge at Tharo's River Gate. Okay, so let's get the map back up just so people can see where we are.
By the way, have you restored yourself as well?
Oh, yeah. So there was 1, 2, 3, three sections at least. I think probably 4, but we'll go with 3. Yeah, thank you. I forgot. So I'm on 24 now. 6 to go. Okay, we've got 3 choices here. And while you decide, I'm going to run to the fridge and grab a Coke. So 3 streets converge at Tharo's Rivergate Square. Copperpiece Lane, Globe Walk, and Flagon Alley. Flagon Alley sounds a bit like something out of Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's probably involving drink, I would say. Flagon Alley.
Oh, yeah, because of the drink. So Copperpiece Lane, Globe Walk, and Flagon Alley. West is Copperpiece Lane, north is Globe Walk, northwest is Flagon Alley. Okay, Mel and chat decide where we're going. I'm just going to grab a drinky. I'll be right back.
Well, we're east of where we want to be. So I don't think we want to go east. We either want to go north or northwest, I would say.
I was thinking the Globe Street.
The what one?
I was thinking the Globe one potentially. Sounds worldly. Sounds
is that like north? Is that the north one? Northwest.
Globe Walk, page 82. It goes north, yes.
Yeah. Yep. I say the north.
Okay. All right. Very good. Got that. 82. You follow the foot-worn cobbles of Globe Walk past premises of coppers, cobblers, and carpenters to an open square where you see a sign pointing to an alley that disappears among the shadows. Let me get the map back up. So we are currently in the city of Tharo, which we can see at the bottom there. Okay, took us a long time to get there. Ahead, the street continues. It's flanked by shops and the town's perimeter wall. There's a sign pointing to an alley that disappears among the shadows. If you wish to ride along the alley, or do you want to continue along the street? If you'd like to get mugged and go in the alley, turn to I wonder.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the alley might not be a good idea.
I was thinking the same. Stick with the street?
Yeah.
Okay, 204. You arrive at a flag-stoned quadrangle. It is well lit by street lanterns, which hang from the first floor balcony of a large, unusual building constructed of blue stone, with silver and scarlet veins running all through it. The bricks have been polished to give a mirror-like shine. A huge wooden door, banded with copper, dominates the entrance, above which a bronze cast depicts a flaming broadsword with the words "Temple of the Sword" above it. Beyond the temple, a street ascends to a stone watchtower. It's built on the peak of the hill and dominates the town. If you have a map of Tharo, you may consult it before choosing any of the following options. If you have a Magna Chi discipline of Pathmanship, turn to 327, enter the temple, or ride up the watchtower. I'd like to have a look at the temple, but we have got the skill of Pathmanship, so let's see what that advises. To the left of the main door, you notice 3 symbols engraved in a large speckled blue stone. They are a bed, a horse, and a loaf of bread. You recognize their significance because you've seen similar markings on hostels and monasteries during your travels east. By displaying these symbols, the monks of this temple offer their travelers a meal, stable for horses, and a bed for the night. If you wish to take advantage of this offer, turn to 78, or you can go and investigate the watchtower.
Oh, investigate the watchtower?
Yeah, I'd quite like to see the watchtower. We can come back to that. So 78 is where we would go if we decide to go back to that. Go to the watchtower, 14. Yeah, I think examine everything first. 2 sour-faced soldiers stand guard at the watchtower door, grumbling about the foul weather. I hate this weather, don't you?
Oh, yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, horrible. Said it's going to get warmer next week.
Oh, no, it's not doing my trench foot any good.
They view your arrival with displeasure. Oh, here comes another one. I bet he's going to ask us for information.
Oh, God.
Mumbling curses under their breath. What business have you here at sundown? Growls one. We would like to see your commanding officer, replies Pado in a tone befittingly of his lordly rank. I think I did his voice justice there. Unfortunately, neither his tone nor his travel-stained tunic impressed the surly soldiers. They refused to grant his request out of hand. If you wish to show them your pass, turn to 180, or you can leave the watchtower and we can go to the temple. Well, we do have the pass, so I thought, yeah, show them. See if we can get some information out of them. 180. One of the soldiers snatches your pass, gives it a cursory glance. Even the presence of Lord Adamus, his seal, does little to impress him. Shield Warden Nedra is visiting Cider, he says. He's not due back until tomorrow. You'll have to wait until then. He hands back the pass with indifference. Come, says Pado. Let us find ourselves a roof for the night. We can come back tomorrow. Okay, right, so we'll go to the temple then.
Yeah.
Okay, 78, that's the next. So the commander of the watch is visiting the town further north, which is only one road away from Lukos, which is the town that was savaged.
Yeah.
Ransacked. You dismount and climb the steps leading to the temple doors. An old man dressed in brown robes answers your knock and invites you and Pedo inside. A novice attends to your horses. Stepping through the door is like stepping into another world. The air is sweet, with incense and flickering lights cast by a long row of squat red candles. You follow the old man along a vaulted corridor, doing several flights of steps, yada, yada, yada. A delicious smell of cooking wafts from an opening hatch in the wall beyond. Be seated, says the old man. Enjoy our humble food. May it revive you after your travels and fortify you for the long road ahead. Another monk enters the chambers. He is carrying 2 steaming plates of meat stew. He sets them down before you, blessing the meal. You're hungry after your day's journey. You must eat. Yeah, I'll eat the meal. It does say you can choose to eat a meal from your rucksack, but I don't want to offend them.
No.
I think if I do that, I'll offend them. So, because it's part of their religion, obviously. Let's hope they're not agents of the Dark Lord. Okay. The stew tastes good and it smells. You both make short work of your meal. The monk smiles and nod their heads approvingly. Come, the dean wishes to see you before you retire. The dean's chamber is domed in a hexagonal room hung with tapestries depicting strange and grotesque creatures. A gust of air disturbs the tapestry on the far wall. Seconds later, it is moved aside to reveal another elderly man in a hooded black robe. Have you eaten? He asks, his voice strangely cold and monotonial. Have you eaten? Maybe it should be a bit more like that. Have you eaten? Yes, master. Good. Leave us. The monks depart. If you have the Magna discipline of divination, will you have a crystal star pendant? I do. I've got both of those things. 3, 4, 3. Oh, Esme, you're going for it now. Oh shit. Okay. Something's wrong here. You're in the presence of great evil. Your skin prickles and the blood runs cold. Yet your alarm soon turns to fear. Okay, right. So this guy is not who he appears to be. I wonder if he's one of those Hellgast things. Okay. Your futile quest is over, mortal, says the hooded man. His emotionless voice is like a rusty spike stabbing in your mind. Instinctively, you reach your weapon, but your hand begins to shake. You can no longer control your fingers. You glance at Pedo to see he too is shivering uncontrollably. Suddenly, a wave of pain tears at your stomach and your legs buckle at the knees. You groan in agony and fall heavily to the ground, clutching your burning stomach with trembling fingers. Pedo lets out a scream of anguish and drops unconscious at your side. Star Trek red vest burning brightly. But envy his oblivion. The terrible pain begins to course through your body. If you have the Magna discipline of curing and have reached the rank of primate, turn to 146. I have. So let's see if I can do something. You muster all your strength to fight the deadly poison that has infiltrated your blood. Oh shit! They poisoned us at the food.
Yeah.
Your improved power of curing suppresses the pain and slows the progress, enabling you to face the would-be assassin. A flicker of surprise registers, and you stagger to your feet and unsheath your weapon. Lose 5 endurance points. Now, my endurance would be back to 29 by this time. So it's back down to 24. So it's as it was. Turn to 113. Okay, I think now we have a fight on our hands. Gaz Ajak Amaz, hisses the monk as he pulls back the hood of his black robe. You gasp in shock at the transformation. The monk's face is writhing and contorting. Tattered flesh drops from his sunken cheeks. To hang in festoons beneath the exposed lower jaw. A snake-like tongue, black and narrow, flickers between curved fangs. It is a Hellgast, I knew it, an agent of the Dark Lord. If you possess the Summer Sword, Turn to page 30. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. So we've got a fight on our hands for sure. So we're going to need our dice, and I think after this battle, I think that's where we'll pause it for today. Okay, so let's share the screen or stop this one for a moment. Okay, right. So he's got endurance of 48. Okay.
Yep.
The creature's is immune to Mind Blast, but not Psy Surge. Now, he's got a combat skill of 32. That's 2 points higher than me. So I'm going to use, because he's not immune to Psy Surge, I'm going to use Psy Surge, which gives me a +4, but it means that I lose an endurance point. Now, I just want to check, is that every round I use it? I think it is. It means I'm going to be fighting him only on a +2, so this is going to be very, very tricky. Let me see. On a double check. Psy Surge. Every round of combat, you deduct one endurance point. Right. Okay. Right. Well. I guess now. I'm just wondering if I can take my mega healing thing before we begin the combat, because I'm already on 24.
Yeah.
Right. Creature is immune to mob. Side screen. Reduce your endurance points by 2. Well, God, yeah. Unless you possess Size Screen, you must reduce your endurance points by 2 at the beginning of every round you fight this creature, regardless of the damage. Yeah, okay. Well, sustained by the enemy. Now my damage against him is doubled because I'm using the Summer Sword, and he's a creature of the undead, and Summer Sword damage is doubled against him. That's good. All right. So I'm gonna down my healing Lampsper thing quickly while he's doing his transformation, because it always says if you haven't got time. So the extra strength one has gone. I'd rather take that and go up to 30 and lose 2 of the points than I will use Psy Surge. So on the first round of combat, I'm already down to 29. We're on the +2 chart. Here we go. Oh, and his endurance, Mel, is 48. 48. Okay. Hmm. 5. Okay, and remember, I'm doing double damage on him.
Yeah.
So on the +2 of 5 is he takes 8, which is double to 16. I take 2, down to 27. Second round of combat. Seven again. Was it 7 last time? +2, 7 again. Oh no, it's higher. So he takes 10, which is doubled to 20. I lose 1.
That takes him down to 12.
Oh, good. We like this. 26. I thought I was gonna for certain be in trouble here. 9. I think he's dead. Hold on, I've gone past the combat thing. Here we go. Yeah, he's taken 12, double to 24. I take nothing.
Yep. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I added those retrospectively, Keith. But yeah, I did remember. Thank you for that, though. Right. Okay. So if you win this combat, turn to 268. Gladly so. 268. A wretched cry of pain and despair fills the chamber as you strike the killing blow.
Oh!
Very good. Not as good as the Wilhelm scream, but not bad. Okay. The Helghast falls, its flesh transforming rapidly into putrid green gas that seeps from the vents in its tattered robe. Your mind reels at what has just occurred, but you dare not dwell on the fearful implications, for the poison in your system is beginning to overwhelm your healing power. You must act quickly if you are to save yourself from Pado, from the fatal toxin. If you have a potion of Lampspur, Redium's elixir, or an ode herb, turn to 178. I do. Okay, well, we'll just get to the end of this kind of what's happening, then we'll call it 178. Okay, you force yourself to swallow the poison and fight to stay conscious enough long for it to take effect. Gradually, you feel your strength returning. The pain and nausea disappear. Your limbs stop their uncontrollable shivering as the potion and your latent Kai skills neutralize the toxin that is flowing in your blood. Now you use your skills to try and save your companion's life. It is dawn before the following day, before you know for sure if your skill and perseverance has saved him. Turn to 285. Okay, so we'll probably make this one the last one. And that's 3 sections, which I would have healed up as well. 285. The flicker of an eyelid and a trickle of bead of sweat are the first signs of Pado's recovery. Slowly he stirs to consciousness, waking from a sleep that was never very nearly his last. He can remember nothing of the ordeal. When you tell him all that has happened, he shakes his head in disbelief. A Helghast? How can that be? The servants of the Dark Lord Nang have infiltrated this monastery. Yes, they've got themselves hidden, but I fear the day is fast approaching when they'll rise up and wreak havoc in this town. Now they know our true identities, and I wager they know why we're here. This is bitter news, Lone Wolf, says Pado. We can afford to delay no longer. If Telestria falls to the Dark Lord Nang before we reach the Darnag, then all quest is lost. It is a sobering thought, but you choose not to dwell on it. You help Pado to his feet, cast your eyes around the chamber, and search for a way out. If you took Pado's sword during the fight, you now return it to him. Go to 201. All right, I'm going to turn to this one. See if we can get to a natural endpoint. Oh, hang on a second. There's an interesting picture to show. One of the bowls begins to emit a faint humming sound in the room. The surface of its silvery liquid swirls and glows brighter, casting a fluorescent light on the domed ceiling. The slowly clears and a strange image takes shape, condensing and forming into something wholly alien, something that resembles the head of a monstrous fly. Its great multifaceted eyes stare at you. So this is in some kind of bowl of liquid in the room. It's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Let me put my endurance points up by. Back to 29 now. Okay, swiftly you search the chamber behind a throne. Hang on. It says something. It says Tanashkor Nador Ganag, booms its ghastly, rasping voice. Then with a stifled cry of rage and recognition, the image clouds over and the light fades to a dull glow. The terrible visage of the Dark Lord Nang has disappeared. So that's very much of, I see you. By the gods, gasped Pado, what manner of beast was that? However, you do not reply, for you sense that he already knows the dreadful answer. Swiftly you search the chamber. Discover several useful items: a bow, 3 arrows, enough food for 2 meals. Set into at the back of the chair, you locate a lever. It activates a portal into the opposite wall. The tapestry that conceals it is drawn aside. You can see a stairway flanked by torches descending to a passage far below. Come, this room chills my blood, says Pedo. You move to follow him as he descends the stairs, stopping briefly to kick over the bowl of the glowing silvery liquid that projected the image of the Dark Lord. All right, okay, I think we'll call it there. I want to see if I want to take any of those items. I'll take the arrow because that'll refill my quiver to 12 arrows because I used one earlier.
Yep.
I'm good on. I can fit one more meal in the rucksack, so I'll have one. Yeah, I don't need the sword, so good. All right, there we are. Fantastic. Those people watching, thanks for joining us on the quest of Lone Wolf, the Jungle of Horrors. The original book is here. There it is. The original book. That's got very strange looking kind of Muppet thing on one side, and I don't know. It looks like something from Ghostbusters on the on the other side there. Yeah. So now the next Lone Wolf stream won't be until next weekend because I have 2 streams this week. On Tuesday, we're doing a Judge Dredd and Dredd retrospective and review with the Inside Man and Matthew Holmes from Australia. We'll be talking about the 2 Judge Dredd films. I actually just watched the Stallone one again for the first time since I saw it at the cinema, and not as bad as I remembered it. Actually, I think it had a lot of merit, but there was also a lot that wasn't good. But yeah, so that was interesting to see. So we're going to be talking about those, and then on Wednesday we're doing our top 5 horror films from 1970 until 1990. So the Judge Dredd discussion is starting quite late. That's around 11:30 p.m. UK time. But what's important about that is we have a prop from the film Judge Dredd, which we're going to give away to one of the people that participates in the stream in the chat. So we've got a Judge Dredd prop that was on the set that we're going to give away. So let's see who turns up to claim this bountiful prize. And then Wednesday, top 5 horror films from 1970 until 1990. Alien is not allowed in the category because we are not allowing any films which take place in the future. So stuff in the past set in the worldly setting of the known Earth is allowed. Stuff said in the future is not allowed. So Alien is said in the future because we had to caveat some rules there. Great stuff. Mel, thanks so much for joining me. And of course, Esme snoring away. Right, Rupert looking bewildered. Great to see you. Keith, great that you were here all this time. I assume Desert Phoenix is probably still here lingering. I'll try and pronounce that correctly next time if I can. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you all again on Tuesday.